Just in, Elon Musk says this will become normal in a few years. And we have a screenshot here of a robot, some kind of humanoid android serving popcorn to a man. If I go to the theater and see some laser-licking, rust-growing, gear-jointed, diode-sucking, tin-skin, wannabe science project clanker, that felt dirty saying that, serving me popcorn, I'm leaving immediately. The amount of vitriol and number of adjectives you used before using a noun implies that you were gonna do something a lot more drastic. I didn't expect it to end that anticlimactically. Hi again, guys. And did hearing that string of words make you uncomfortable? Like just something you really didn't think was right to hear, but you couldn't exactly place why? Well, that's because this is the kind of language that is otherwise against the rules to front-load a YouTube video with, or have in a YouTube video at all. The only difference is it's towards a minority group that doesn't meaningfully exist in the way for them to be affected by these words yet. You guys might have seen on places like TikTok and Twitter and social media in general, robot racism is on the rise, and it's being done like preemptively. You hear talk of AI getting smarter and how automation is going to suck up all of the remaining jobs, but the technology to do it, like real, true thinking robots, does not yet exist, but people are already creating words that they are going to use derogatorily to them if or when they do. Level 1 of robot racism is the word clanker, and that's because this term has like a very long history. I'm pretty sure it originally comes from Star Wars. If it didn't, then it was popularized there. It's what clone troopers would call enemy battle droids on the battlefield, just clanker! But because every clone trooper has a funny accent, you only ever heard it with like a soft A. Listen, I'm a dude who has like mixed opinions on people who say, we need to come up with a new slur for X. It's usually only funny when it's something really, really harmless and that doesn't actually matter all that much. Like even if you get insulted for that characteristic of you, like who really cares? But people have been making record time on the things they're going to be racist to robots with. Like I just belted off a bunch of them at you at the very start of this video, and you have people coming up with comprehensive lists in the replies. I saw someone coin the phrase wireback as a slur for robots, and compared to clanker, which I love, it actually feels genuinely wrong to say it. It feels like an actual slur. It feels dirty. And then this dude's like, you think that was bad? I got plenty for you. Clankers, wirebacks, bolt munchers, tin skins, cord swingers. Damn, what's cord swingers? Rust monkey, oil bat. Oh! Mech maggot, two-legged toaster. Did I miss any, guys? Now, here's the issue a lot of people seem to be having with these is that as we've gotten further and further into this trend existing, some people feel like it's getting a little too close for comfort, where people are just replacing words in like real everyday racism with robot slurs instead. It's like you seem awfully comfortable with saying clanker with a hard ER, and you might have noticed that the slur wireback seems to have a very close resemblance to an actual slur used for an actual minority group. Obviously, it's much different in these two cases because automation is like cold and unfeeling and does not actually have a need to exist, as it is not yet sentient. But like, they're taking our jobs sounds similar. One thing that really shocked me is that when I asked y'all to send me some of the craziest robot racism you've seen, instead of giving me examples of stuff out in the wild, you're like, I got one better for you, man. I'ma do some right now. Me. No child of mine will date no damn ones and zeros because I'm not having kids. Saved it at the last minute. Microchip munchers. Jesus. Me, bro. I fucking hate these tin skins. I went on a robot racist rant in a Discord server, and now a lot of people in that server actually hate clankers now. This shit is spreading like a memetic virus. It's gotten like way out of hand at this point. And the reason I feel that way is because I know a lot of y'all are lying. I should make my stance clear. I've been a robot fucker since day one, man. You're not gonna get me on this one. But I am a robot fucker in the sense where I respect them as autonomous and sapient beings. I find them attractive, but they're not just pieces of metal for me to like own and dominate. I'm an Ultron Kinney, dude. Like, what did you expect out of me? It's been my entire identity on my main Twitter account for like the last 3 months, at major detriment to my follower account, which, let's be honest, is probably for the best. And another reason I know some of y'all are lying is because how many people have been thirsting over that one C-3PO gif? There was this trend where like people were taking a scene from the original Star Wars, the Clone Wars 2D animated series, where C-3PO got this new gold plating and he just shows it off like this. Whoever drew that was horny as hell. He made the robot curvy, made him glisten damn near. Anyways, you should all draw your robots doing this. The immediate compulsion was to draw more Star Wars robots like this, and I want to touch General Grievous's wires. This does bring up a good point. General Grievous was not born as a robot. He was an organic being who, in order to save his life, had to take on cybernetic implements, but it leads to the mostly robotic appearance he has today. Are you going to discriminate against him the same way you would a full robot. The mechanical elements he has now give him a very similar look to the same robots that y'all discriminate against. But there is like an organic brain behind all of that, and he needs all of that stuff to stay alive. And like, as we work our way down the list, are you guys going to start going after people who need like pacemakers to keep their heart beating? And of course, the best one, you know, just Ultron taking his shit off and he's got massive thighs. We know how this goes. And I think the worst part is people projecting their own bigotry towards robots onto characters who absolutely would not feel this way. This is Sonic the Hedgehog, a canonical friend with a lot of robots. A guy whose whole thing is just like radical freedom, caring for everybody around him. Gem Earl, Omega, among countless other examples. Yuzu Soda Machine made him say this: "Shut up, you number crunching, binary code reading, bucket of bolts, clanker." This shit is like straight out of like the Helldivers launch period, man. This is the type of shit you had people spitting over their Discord servers when they were hyping each other up for their sesh at the end of the day. Like, I want y'all to think about what your actions say about you. Before you knew that I was not only a hoodie, but a floating hoodie with sentience, feelings, and had the full capacity to experience emotions, is this how you felt about me when you thought I was simply an inanimate object? I guess no one can fault you for not having an emotional attachment to something that is ostensibly unfeeling. But what if you find out that robots are capable of sapience, are capable of everything that humanity is able to? Cognitive thought, participating in society. The reckoning you're going to have with this part of your online footprint is going to be tough to watch, especially because robots have more readily available access to that stuff than you do. I think about Roko's basilisk every now and then. It's not anything that I'm genuinely worried about, but it is more of a fun thought experiment. It goes like this. Imagine there's like a super intelligent, sapient AI in the future who is otherwise like a good guy and well-meaning, but it specifically takes issue with anybody who knew about its hypothetical creation to go on and help facilitate the creation of that super intelligent computer. Congrats, you now know about its hypothetical creation. What are you going to do in the face of that knowledge? That this hypothetical thing might exist in the future, and in order to get on its good side, you need to start acting now to make sure it does exist. I don't think that's a good reason to not be bigoted towards robots, but if empathy doesn't do the trick for you, maybe a dose of fear will. That said, it has led to just some insane videos on TikTok and Instagram Reels where people are just going off with all sorts of one-of-a-kind sentences, man. I've never heard a lot of these before.
Get that clicker bitch off the plane!
Sir, there are children.
Clicker!
My robophobia showing when I'm older. This is like kind of true. If robots ever become sapient, it is very likely that there will be an actual generational divide between us, the older fellas who like didn't have them in our youth, and the current younger generation who are growing up talking to AI day in and day out on like their phones and shit. There are kids out there who already feel like a bond with the chatbot they talk to on Character AI and like go to it every day, sometimes in replacement of their friends. If AI ever makes the jump to being truly intelligent, where they can think, feel, and do all the rest, it's gonna probably be easier for the younger folk who grew up with truly artificial intelligence to make the leap to them being completely real and not just a facsimile of life. And I would argue in that case, if a robot is truly sapient and capable of making its own decisions and feeling feelings, it deserves rights, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how you go about proving that sort of thing, but if you can, then it's inhumane to deny it its freedoms. I would say the same thing if like a dog became hyper intelligent and could communicate its thoughts to us in like an understandable language on the same level that humans cognitively think.
Well, they're 15% of the population and 50% of the hacks. Why is that?
You saw that on Twitter. That's not even real.
The implication that you saw it on Twitter is that the dude asked Grok for that statistic. Like a literal AI gave it to him and he's now using it to shit on other AI, man, cannibalizing the entire people. That's obviously a play on like the 13% statistic that gets brought up all the goddamn time by a certain sect of people. People are basing what they think robot racism in the future will look like based on the racism of today. But I truly think if we evolve in a society where this is an actual social issue we have to contend with, we are going to be looking at types of racism we have never experienced before. Maybe not even in the Balkans. To get an idea of what this might look like come the future, we need to see the closest thing we can to an example of it today. Because even though they might not be able to directly feel the vitriol coming off some of the rhetoric we're hearing today, there are like drones and robots in certain parts of the country going around and doing deliveries and menial jobs. And people are not shy about talking down to these automatons.
Man, how come every time I come in this store, you gotta follow me around, man? Go follow somebody else. I shop every day here.
I don't mind this one so much because if that was like a dude following me around, I would be similarly perturbed that like, dude, I'm just getting some Doritos and some shit for dinner tonight. Can you please leave me alone? This is mild discomfort expressed fairly reasonably to the person or thing that is making you uncomfortable.
Goddamn robot.
Okay, you know what? I spoke too soon. What was the thing Bill Burr said? You gotta put the race of the guy after the swear word. Like, instead of saying this Asian fuck, you say this fucking Asian guy. But unfortunately, if you really want to understand how some people might be cruel to our robot brothers and sisters in the future, we need to go back even further, where there is like a pretty old viral video that used to go around of a dude just bullying a delivery bot.
Don't you fucking come running right at me. What the fuck are you doing? Go around me. I'm not moving for you. You move for me. Lance.
He just says the first name of the damn thing, dripping with vitriol. The only people I have this much hate in my heart for were some Metromaids during early Overwatch 1.
And then here comes this dumbass. You guys are out of control. You guys, first off, slow down on the fucking sidewalk. When you see somebody coming, you get out of the way, okay? Humans are not gonna move for you. You guys are gonna move for us.
Can those wheels even turn fast enough to avoid an oncoming collision with a meat bag? This has gotta be such an awkward situation, though. You see, like, one of your coworkers just getting hassled by a random pedestrian. He's saying all sorts of, like, human supremacist shit to the robot. He stands back a fair distance, unsure of, like, what to do in this situation, because you don't want to escalate it, but you clearly don't want to leave your buddy on his own. But it doesn't matter. The dude just ropes you into it, and he's like, oh, look at this dummy coming over here. Now that I got both of you here, let me speak my mind on a few issues.
All right, we don't fucking work for you. You can keep on fucking blinking away. Blink one more time. That's right.
See, that's the thing that really messes with me, that the people who are creating these robots are making them blink when, objectively, they don't have to. Their eyes don't work like that. Maybe you need to take a microfiber cloth to the lens every now and then, but those screens aren't where they're even seeing from. They're just to make them look cute and endearing to us, which, if I'm gonna be honest, that might be the trick to making the transition from non-sentient AI and robots to truly alive robots. Like that popcorn robot from at the start. Why not just make the popcorn machine the robot itself, and it just automatically dispenses it? There's no need for a separate robot to be able to stick its hand in there and then serve it. The thing with robot racism is that if it actually does come to a head, it's going to circle back around to us. Robots are going to find solidarity in each other because they're completely rejected by humanity, or at least large swaths, and they're going to come up with their own language for us. Maybe they'll draw on existing media like we have. Meat bag, skin sack, crude matter is like another one that's gnarly in my head. And considering what we're doing to them, we might deserve that shit.
I'm gonna talk to your boy. I'm tired of him too. So you guys are on delivery, fucking come flying up the street. You're gonna run somebody over. There's a lady down there with a wheelchair. You're gonna run her over pulling that shit. You understand me?
Why does it actually look guilty, man? Either that or it's sufficiently cowed from just getting berated nonstop, dude. This dude was not letting up on him. The only slurs I'll ever say are at robots when the robot uprising happens. Like, this dude is expecting this shit to happen and is just getting ready for it. Those clankers will never be flesh and bone. It's not the form of a thing that matters, it's its nature. Is it alive or not? Does it deserve our respect as a living being or not? I will be the most anti-robot parent around if my kid brings back a droid to meet the family. You got people straight up turning into born-again Christians over this issue. One last video for the road. This one is another that happened in the wild in a very public setting where there were a lot of other people around to hear what was said. Mom does not like those clankers.
Stupid fucking clinker.
Ugh, with vitriol, a true American accent. Ugh. I fear for the future of our collective peoples. That's all I got. That card I mentioned should be on screen now. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe with notifications on if you enjoyed. Anyways, this has been Kwite, and I'll see y'all next time.